Hello and welcome to the News at 5. I am Olumide Macaulay. The former NNPC Limited Group CEO, Mr. Mele Kyari, was at the EFCC headquarters today at the Commission's request to address questions on financial and technical matters from his time in office. He was seen walking in at 2:15 p.m. today, 10th of September 2025. The EFCC had approached the Federal High Court, Abuja, presided over by Justice Emeka Nwite, seeking a 60-day freeze order to complete its investigation, but Justice Nwite limited the freeze to 30 days with the option of renewal if necessary. The lawyer to the EFCC told the court that the order was crucial because the accounts were under probe in connection with alleged conspiracy, abuse of office, and money laundering. Preliminary findings revealed that certain bank accounts were linked to Mr. Kyari, who allegedly exploited his role as a contract facilitator to launder illicit funds. To the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja, who've declined the bail application made by 5 terrorism suspects linked to Al-Shabaab, who allegedly attacked a Catholic church in Owo, Ondo State, leading to the death of over 40 worshippers. Justice Emeka Nwite, who dismissed their bail application, held that the terrorism charges against them were capital in nature, as the suspects are accused of being members of a foreign terrorist organization who may intimidate witnesses, influence, and jeopardize the trial of the defendants before the court. Delivering a ruling on the bail application, the judge upheld the arguments of the Department of State Service that the evidence against the alleged terrorists is quite compelling and cannot be glossed over. Justice Nwite also held that the argument of the DSS that they will jump bail if allowed to go home was not disputed and deemed to be true. He further upheld the submission of the security agency that the 5 accused persons did not establish having credible sureties that can stand for them pending their trial. In line with an early application by the DSS, he reiterated his order of accelerated trial as he fixed October the 16th for full trial. Policemen have been confirmed dead by the police following an attack by gunmen. The victims were attacked at a checkpoint in Yagba West local government area of the state. The spokesman of the command, William Aya, confirmed the incident to journalists in Lokoja, the state capital, and says the accident that it occurred in the early hours of Wednesday. According to him, the state commissioner of police has deployed the police tactical team to the area, and officials are on the trail of the assailants and assured the public that the perpetrators will be brought to book. And there's been some disturbing news from Anambra State where a 22-year-old female has been killed in a shooting in Onitsha Market, while 6 other people sustained injuries. The victims were shot by operatives of the local environmental enforcement team. The governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, who visited the injured in hospital earlier today, directed that the suspect be arrested and handed over to the police for prosecution. He also instructed that the medical needs of the injured be taken care of by the government. And here in Lagos, the Lagos state government has announced that no compensation will be paid to residents of Oworonshoki whose houses were demolished. That's according to the State Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, who made this comment during the ministry's quarterly press conference in Ikeja. He says it's illegal for the people to occupy land for which there is no approval.
This one you are talking about, you are talking about the Wuru, you are talking about, they were adequately carried along. It's not new, but this is the excuse that people will always tell you, that they were not informed, and that is not true. In the first instance, it is illegal. So what compensation will you be asking on? So I should carry the tax you are paying. I know you work in channels, you pay tax. The tax that you pay to go and give somebody on an illegal structure, are you okay with that? Should the government be doing that? To carry your own hard-earned money and be giving somebody illegal your money? Is that fair? No. Our responsibility is that those areas, what are the conditions that warrant demolition? One, if you build under high tension, we will demolish. If you build over a gas line, we will demolish. If you build on drainage paths, we will demolish. If you build on setbacks, we will demolish. Those ones are direct. Now, there are others that if you build on an informal or not ready to use land, as in the case you mentioned about, because they can't get approval, they don't have approval. And unfortunately, because these are buildings that are done by quacks without recourse to proper examination of the engineering principles. So on one side, they don't have title to the land. On another side, they don't have approval. On another side, what they even built is threat to life because it's now a distressed building. So you have more than enough ground to remove them.
In the meantime, there's been a boat mishap often caused by overcrowding, and the National Inland Waterways Authority has announced a ban on all unauthorized loading points across the country as part of efforts to safeguard lives and property on the nation's waterways. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the managing director of the agency announced the compulsory use of life jackets by all boat operators, as he warns that all failure to comply will lead to severe sanctions, including prosecution of offenders.
If the proposed coastal guards for inland waterway is established and operational, the authority believes that an important operational tool such as coastal guards will go a long way in strengthening its enforcement drive for better results. We therefore plead with the National Assembly to look into this direction. In the meantime, to build on the recent positives, the following are immediate action. NIWA has placed an immediate ban on loading activities from all unauthorized loading points across the country. No commercial passenger boat shall be allowed to load from any point other than those recognized and registered by NIWA. It is mandatory for all commercial boats to provide and enforce the use of life jackets on the boat always. Every commercial passenger boat must properly display its boat name letters and load line. All unlicensed boats and watercraft to be removed from the waterways immediately. All unlicensed boat drivers and operators are banned from operating any boat or watercraft on the waterways.
And now to aviation. The Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority is currently meeting with domestic airline operators in Abuja. The purpose is to speak to regulatory issues around unruly behavior of passengers and passenger handling protocol, unresolved refund or compensation issues, as well as the enforcement of phone switch-off instructions, protection for cabin crew, and improved travel experience for passengers. The engagement is stemming from the increasing concern from some recent confrontations between air customers, crew members, and airline operators. The NCAA notes that there's been an increase in the number of complaints from customers, and the regulator is urging the operators to stick to the regulations of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority. To Edo State government, who are urging residents to make proper use of waste management services as part of their drive to keep the state cleaner and healthier, Managing Director of the Waste Management Board revealed that the new measures align with the governor's vision. He explains that initiatives such as sorting waste from households also supports the government's Waste to Wealth program, which turns refuse into resource.
In pursuit of his vision for a cleaner and healthier Edo State, the administration of Governor Monday Okpebholo has continued to introduce measures aimed at improving environmental sanitation.
Yeah. It's okay, yes.
At the recent launch of new equipment for the State Waste Management Board, stakeholders commended the initiative, while Governor Okwewulu emphasized the importance of acquiring the machines to enhance service delivery.
Now we have bought this. If you add 15 million by 3, that will give you 150 per month. Now, in 1 year, we have almost paid for this. Both the low bed, the 3 caterpillars. Now we bought the low bed because we don't want to rent low bed from anywhere. It's Edo State property. We have not borrowed money from anywhere to buy this. We use Edo money to buy it, to work for Edo people.
The managing director of the board, Lucky Negbinei, has already deployed the new equipment for dump site maintenance across Benin City, the Edo State capital. He says the era of indiscriminate dumping of refuse by waste management companies is now over.
Because they don't have a proper dump site to dispose the waste. So what they do, they look at the left, right, they dump anywhere. But with this new initiative, they now have a proper dump site to dispose of waste.
He also advised residents to dispose of their waste properly and support the government's drive towards a cleaner environment.
As I speak to you, we have about 3. Yes. Next couple of months, they will all be in place. We have one for Edo North, Edo Central, and Edo South. State-of-the-art recycling plant. We have to start segregating right from various homes. Plastics, hazardous, organic. So that is why we are seeing the red, black, and then the cage you see around across the city centers.
According to the board, dump sites are now open daily from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. with no fees required for access.
Waste managers don't pay when they come to dump. Dumping is free.
During the inspection exercise, officials stressed that keeping the state clean requires the active and responsible participation of all stakeholders, from the point where refuse is generated to where it's finally disposed of. Jessica Lugusera, Channels Television News.
Governor Sheriff Oworonshoki of Delta State is taking steps to improve workers' welfare through affordable housing. At the Government House in Asaba, he presented a certificate of occupancy to the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria for the construction of a workers' housing estate in Ibuza.
Nigeria's housing deficit remains one of the biggest challenges for civil servants, with rent taking up a large share of their salaries. At Government House in Asaba, Delta State, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria team, led by the Executive Director of Loans and Mortgage Services, Dr. Mohammed Abdul, receives land documents from Governor Sheriff Oworonshoki.
I hand over into you.
The 10.1 hectare of land in Ibusa Oshimili North local government area will host a workers' housing estate in partnership with the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress. Dr. Abdul praises Governor Oworonshoki's commitment, saying the project will help reduce Nigeria's housing deficit, now estimated at over 20 million units.
There is no way we can build affordable houses for those who are not contributing. So, Your Excellency, we are begging you to use your resilience, your quality, your actionability to cause the other local governments to contribute. Because as I told you, it is at the local areas that we need to touch the lives, not only at the center.
Governor Oworonshoki believes that the intervention is timely, as many junior and middle-level workers struggle with high rent costs.
In our quest to improve the welfare of our dedicated workers. Shortly, I will be presenting the certificate of occupancy of an expanse of land measuring approximately 10.1 hectares of land, and is situated within the state government acquisition at core area 2, Ibuzo, for allocation to the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria.
The governor also thanks President Bola Tinubu for empowering the Federal Mortgage Bank to carry out his mandate before handing over the certificate of occupancy to the team.
You may look at it that just a simple thing. No, we have challenges. Our workers is suffer because there's not enough accommodation for them. So most of their salary has been consumed by rent.
With this partnership, many Delta workers may soon move from paying rent to owning their own homes, an achievement seen as a big boost to welfare and productivity in the state's public service.
The wife of the Cross River State Governor, together with the chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, have commissioned the first Diaspora Commission office complex in Calabar, the state capital. Mrs. Otu describes the project as a major step to strengthen ties with Cross River indigents abroad. She adds that the new office will serve as a hub for engagement, empowerment, and sustainable partnerships that can boost socio-economic growth.
In a bid to mobilize the diaspora for development and strengthen the global image of Cross River State, the state government, in partnership with the Cross River State Diaspora Commission, commissions the first South-South Diaspora Commission office complex in Calabar, the state capital.
In the name of God the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
The ultra-modern facility is inaugurated with the chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri Erewa, in attendance. The new complex is designed to deliver skills, resources, and global connections while strengthening diaspora management across the state. The First Lady of Cross River State emphasizes that the Commission will bridge the gap between Cross River indigents at home and abroad, fostering investment, collaboration, and prosperity.
Our brothers and sisters in the diaspora are an integral part of the Cross River family. They are ambassadors of our culture, our values, and our resilience. They carry the stories of our people, the dignity of our heritage, and the spirit of our unity wherever they go. Yet, while they contribute immensely to their host nations, they have never forgotten home.
On her part, Chairman of NITCOM, Abike Dabiri Erewa, applauds the state for pioneering the initiative. She notes that the office will not only connect cross-Riverians abroad, but also create opportunities in investment, skills transfer, and capacity building.
It's about human capital development, about cross-Riverians in the diaspora that will be coming home to contribute to the growth and development of Cross River. And the message is that Nigerians at home work with Nigerians abroad to build this great country of ours.
Also speaking, Chairman of the Cross River State Diaspora Commission, Otu Okor, explains that the office will serve as a rallying point for the state's diaspora community.
The essence of that convention was to gather Cross-Riverians all over the world, to let them know about what His Excellency is doing and has done so far, and how we can bring about resource mobilization from them and see how they can support His Excellency in the good work he has done.
Earlier, the delegation paid a courtesy visit to Governor Basi Otu, who commends their efforts and promises full collaboration to drive the initiative.
You raised some issues here which you talked about, like the Diaspora Investment Summit. And this would be a very nice one because it showcases many of the things that we have here to some people out there, both our people and other people who are actually in the world. And the diaspora focal persons which you talked about, the meeting holding here, I think we'll gladly accept it.
The commissioning marks a bold step by the Otu administration to harness the human and financial resources of Cross River indigents abroad.
Welcome to Business News. At the launch of AfriInvest's latest banking sector report, Group Managing Director Ike Chioke underscored the Central Bank of Nigeria's renewed push for recapitalization under Governor Olayemi Cardoso, Governor of the Central Bank. He noted that the 2024 report titled Bank Recapitalization, Catalyst for a $1 trillion Economy explores Nigeria's growth prospects through a pragmatic lens and provides actionable insight to help stakeholders align with President Bola Tinubu's $1 trillion economic ambition.
Over the past 2 decades, our flagship report has provided clarity in moments of uncertainty and ambition in times of reform. The 2022 edition of the report, titled Brace for Impact, is actually more profound. This report provided an early warning for Nigerians to prepare for imminent reforms, notably the removal of petroleum subsidy and the removal of foreign exchange subsidy. These reforms, later implemented by President Tinubu, triggered significant shocks across the economy, including the banking sector, through sharp currency devaluation and surging inflation. And last year, in 2024, under the new leadership at the CBN of Governor Olayemi Cardoso, we renewed advocacy for recapitalization and to align with the $1 trillion economy of President Tinubu. Our report titled Bank Recapitalization, Catalyst for a $1 trillion Economy examines Nigeria's growth prospects through a pragmatic lens, offering actionable insights for stakeholders.
Nigeria's logistics industry is evolving rapidly, with consumers navigating the cost of living crisis due to the elevated inflation rate and a weak currency. Consumer sentiment is changing. That's according to a player in the logistics industry, Mr. Femi Aluko, CEO and co-founder at Chowdek. He says that Nigerians are increasingly ordering raw food and groceries rather than cooked meals. He was a guest on Business Morning.
When we started in 2021, that's late 2021, early 22, we saw a lot of customers like ordering for like a lot of bougie items like rice, chicken, turkey, a bunch of these things. I think it was early 2024, we started seeing change in consumer behavior. We started seeing that like a lot of people started ordering a lot more things like beef, like eggs, like fish. And then we started asking questions, what's happening? Just the question you just asked now, we started looking into our data. And we realized very quickly that like consumer behavior is changing. People are tending to like order a lot more things to cook. People are cooking a lot more at home than ordering food from like online and restaurants. A lot of people order food from restaurants. That's like the top restaurants. They order food from restaurants every day. And then as it gets to the middle of the month, we see a lot of customers like trying to order food, like other groceries or items to use to cook like during the month. Right. So it hasn't really changed. Like the behavior we are solving is one of logistics, like just getting things to people where they need them.
And that's it on the news at 5. Thank you for watching. I'm Olumide Macaulay.